What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Steven Ostentoski here of Maize and Brew, bringing you the season's first basketball recap video. Michigan won their opening game against Bowling Green, 96-82. Comfortable win despite the score, maybe not appearing so, but Michigan looked in control throughout. Really excited for this team. I had three questions coming into this season. All right, number one, what happens after Zavier Simpson leaves, right? He was a huge part of the offense, pick and roll offense. Number two, center position. You lose John Teske, a staple for Michigan the past few years. What are you going to do there? Not a whole lot of options. And number three, besides Franz and Livers, who else beyond those two is going to take a step up in the offense, really have some nice production for Michigan? And the answer to those were transfers and freshmen. So number one, replacing Zavier Simpson, Mike Smith came up in a huge way. Columbia transfer, really high usage guy there in the Ivy League, came over. He looked really comfortable at the position overall. Number two, Austin Davis provides a high floor. We knew that. Hunter Dickinson is the X factor there. He came in, played more minutes than Davis, and really showed, again, comfortability in his first game as a Wolverine. And number three, who else is going to take a step up? The answer is another transfer, Chaundee Brown, out of Wake Forest last year. Really solid production, especially behind the three-point line. And he just provided a spark to the offense as well that I don't think a whole lot of people saw coming, but showed that he's going to be a valuable member of the team as well. So let's dive into some highlights here. I'll go through, analyze a couple plays, but let's just go through kind of the meat and potatoes of this game before your meat and potatoes on Thanksgiving. All right, terrible transition. Here we go. All right away here, you can see the length from Franz coming in handy on defense. Nice pass here from Eli. Good ball movement. That's something that stood out a lot about this offense. Even though it's a miss here, offense looked really polished. Turner, remember this name for Bowling Green. He's probably the best player on the floor. Really good offensive player for Bowling Green. Miss here from Franz, but again, ball movement is good. All of these misses in the first half generally had really good ball movement. Mike Smith across there delivers to bury home a three. In transition, here's Franz again having an early impact in this game. A little bit of a scare for injury for Franz later on we'll cover, but here's a nice split the double team from Livers. If he can keep that up, drive, and then the kick to Mike Smith showing some production on his shot. If he can keep that up, Livers throughout, that'll be a really good sign for Michigan. Here's something for Franz I really want you to take a look at. So watch his second step right around here. All right, he's going to take one more dribble here, and that's it, right? He added a lot of muscle weight. He takes two steps and he's already at the basket here. That's just insane. So he's a lot stronger this year. Add that on to his insane length here, 1, 2, and he's at the basket. Just really scary if he can really keep that going. Not a whole lot a defense can do against that. Good ball movement here from Smith to Eli. Again, a miss from Livers. Threes weren't falling in the first half, but ball movement was good. Open looks. Another open look off the screen here for Livers. Can't bury it home. But again, these are good shots. These are shots that are lightly contested at worst. Again, nice feed here from Eli Brooks. Chaundee Brown can't put that down. Only 1 point in the first half for him, but he showed his proficiency on the defensive side here. Shows that length here against Diggs here, Trey Diggs, number 11, a really good player for Bowling Green. Good block there. Length from the big guy there. And then Franz, and then you have Dickinson with the block there. So again, the length for this defense overall is really scary. And you had Franz with the intercepted pass there, Dickinson on the block. This defense with the length is going to cause some headaches for opposing offenses. Again, pass Eli to Franz to Livers in the corner. That one falls. So even though, not a whole lot went right for Michigan's three-point offense in the first half, they were getting good looks, and that would translate into the second half. Here's Hunter Dickinson making an early impact. His recruiting profile, top 50 guy for Dickinson, his recruiting profile mentioned his passing a lot from the block here to find Livers across. This is really good sign for the offense. Livers buries at home. He's having a good first half here. On the defensive side, a little bit to be not worried about, but things to improve, right? Don't go up there. He picked up a foul there. Just things to clean up. And here's Mike Smith driving to the basket. So I'll back up here just a little bit. Mike Smith did this continuously, picking up a ton of fouls throughout the game. He really is proficient at going to the basket. He's a little bit smaller of a guy, so he can knife through. He has really good speed and agility to get down the lane. Him picking up a lot of fouls will, again, cause a lot of headaches for opposing defenses who get into foul trouble because of that. Nice pass from Smith again. John's showing some strength to the baseline to pick up a basket. Nice feed here. Mike Smith again. And you have Hunter Dickinson, true freshman, just taking on a triple team at 7-1. He's a huge guy. Probably should have been and one, but shows the strength to finish there. Michigan's up 11 early. Good feed from Livers. Dickinson again. He's showing his adeptness. I thought this was a travel, or I don't know what you would call that. But ball does come out of his grasp here. But again, putting the ball on the deck, able to go under the basket, that shows really good athleticism for Dickinson. One thing to possibly be concerned about, Bowling Green did have a pretty good stretch five there. He could hit the three. Michigan doesn't really have an athletic option at the five. You have Johns, who's a little bit undersized, but that's more of a small ball center. So something to watch for more athletic, taller fives. I had to put this in here. Chaundee Brown almost posters two guys here. He's built like a brick shit house. He's a strong guy, and he almost ended two guys there. Couldn't put it down, but he's an exciting guy to watch. Mike Smith again, feed here to Livers. Livers penetrating here. That's good to show his comfortability doing that. And then ball rotation to Franz. Again, a miss, but that's good ball movement. That's the right rotation there to pick up that three, a good, comfortable shot there. And again, I said it early, Bowling Green was chosen to be the favorite in the MAC, and you can't do much better than Livers did on this to defend that shot. It just goes in, and here's, again, Turner, probably the best player on the court overall. And I don't think this is bad defense from Livers. This is just Turner being a really, really good player for Bowling Green, and tough to defend that. Mike Smith, again, penetrating the lane, showing that offense as well. So not only can he dish, but he created a ton of offense for Michigan. Here's Turner again. So Bowling Green was able to keep this close, mainly through Turner, but they have some proficient offensive players. Here's Terrence Williams, a little bit sloppy of a possession here. Wanted to call this out for a couple reasons there. You see Mike Smith motioning to him. He's saying, my bad. And he crowded the lane here. So it was a really good offensive showing overall, but there are just some things like Mike Smith kind of crowding the lane here as that you do have a baseline here for Terrence Williams to work with, but you have Mike Smith kind of crowding that a little bit. So things to clean up. I like the aggressiveness from Terrence Williams. He's a true freshman there. A little bit out of control there, but he wasn't afraid. He did really well on the offensive boards as well in a couple of instances we'll show. But it's good to see that aggressiveness from the true freshman as well. Here's Mike Smith again, driving, kicking out for Williams. This is another one that I think could have been done a little bit different. Williams does have this as a part of his game, but with this, look at all the open court here, right? So he decides to take the shot here, but look at all of the open court. You have one guy here. If he can do a shot fake and then drive and maybe take a jumper here, he could even do a shot fake and kick, although this guy does eventually go over to Eli Brooks after initially closing out on Terrence Williams here. But again, this is just a true freshman. I think he could have done with an extra pass here, maybe a pump fake and drive. He had a lot of open space there on the floor. So, some early game jitters maybe for Williams there. And then again, Bowling Green just able to keep this close behind Turner. What do you do against that, right? That's just a really good offense. And here are just some highlights of him because he was the best player on the court, I think. He kept them in the game, and he's tough to defend against. So I think that's something to watch moving forward. Michigan against more athletic guards, though I don't know the next guard that would be better than him. Here's a play I really wanted to highlight for two reasons. One, Michigan coming back on defense, Williams, Livers there, they all somehow got back on that kind of sloppy possession to actually get the turnover here. It's Michigan's ball after this. But watch Franz Wagner here. Twists his ankle. He goes down hard. He walked into the locker room. Thankfully, he came back, no issues in the second half. But Franz getting hurt was definitely a scare in the first half, wanted to point out. Nice dish from Johns to Livers under the basket, closing out the first half here. And then Chaundee Brown again, that's Zeb Jackson, Zeb Jackson with a miss there. True freshman Williams, again, really hard worker there under the basket, getting that offensive board and put back. Here's another good look for Livers. Didn't fall, so the Jackson miss on that one. Livers missing there. Again, these are all decent looks that I was really happy with in the first half. Again, really good passing here from Livers to Franz. Can't put it home, but these are the right passes to make. Mike Smith driving to the baseline, again, picking up another foul. You see Bowling Green already, they were well into the bonus in the first half, and to start off the second half here with a foul. Mike Smith, his ability to drive to the baseline, drive the lane, that's going to pick up a lot of fouls throughout the year. All right, in transition here, again, Mike Smith with the ball, passing to Livers. No thunder dunk on this one. That'll come a little bit later, but good feed there from Smith to Livers, and Livers with the finish. Here's Mike Smith finishing again. I'm getting tired of saying his name, but he's all over the place. Good feed here again to Mike Smith. He didn't finish there, but again, shows Smith's ability with the ball, creating his own play, and then driving to the basket without the ball. So that's just a really good sign for him. Livers with a nice kick-out pass for Chaundee Brown, and it's the Chaundee Brown show. He put it on Bowling Green in the second half with some really good three-point shooting. He didn't have to do a whole lot of it at Wake Forest. He was more known for his drive ability, but it wasn't an offense at Wake Forest that shot the three a whole lot. They were, I think, under or outside of the top 250 programs in the nation in 3-point shooting percentage, or 3-point shooting attempts, excuse me. So not something he was asked to do a whole lot. Again, here's Mike Smith. I'll back this up again. Driving the lane, picking up fouls. He impressed me so much by doing that. And look, we're only 12 minutes in. That's Bowling Green's 5th foul. And I think 2 or 3 of those were against Mike Smith doing something like driving to the lane here. Again, kick out to Chaundee Brown. Boom. 1 point for Chaundee Brown in the first half, 18 in the second. So he came alive huge. Can't mention the second half without also mentioning Trey Diggs, who had a huge game in the second half. And this is a highlight play just for Franz Wagner. Again, that strength, his ability to drive to the basket, finish through contact. We didn't see a whole lot of that last year. Something that he put in some work in Camp Sanderson to bulk himself up. And it showed on multiple occasions, done more than that one. A little bit of a worry here is Brandon Johns did, I think, pick up 3 or 4 fouls. They tried to put him at a stretch 5 or a small ball 5. Wasn't really impressed there, but he could be an X factor there if you can roll out a smaller lineup with him at the 5. But he did pick up a couple of fouls. Here's just a nice play, again, for Turner for Bowling Green. Nothing to do there. And Chaundee Brown, like I said, he was able to really propel Michigan forward. Here's a nice dish from Eli Brooks. And they left him way too much room, and he was hot. Give him credit. He just kept going. This one's a miss, but then you have Hunter Dickinson showing that length at 7'1", with that strength, coming down with the one-hand board here. Nothing that Bowling Green can really do. You see number 10 here. Watch him after the play. He's kind of like, well, what am I going to do against that? He's like, what do I do? But again, Trey Diggs, number 11, Bowling Green. This guy was just on fire as much, if not more so, than Chaundee Brown. But Michigan's proficiency, again, here's Dickinson putting the ball on the wood, able to get to the basket. Nice kick out here for Brown, out to Brooks, who got in the game here for a 3-pointer. And Diggs again. These are well-defended 3-point pass or 3-point shots, right? These aren't like just free shots they're giving him. They're closing out pretty hard on him, and he's still able to drain these. So it's a good player. So Bowling Green, again, don't slouch on them. Kick out pass from Mike Smith to Brown, who's still heating up here. Highlight of the game. Got a nice feed from Smith to Livers, and he throws it down. Love to see this again from Livers. I missed this. Just a really nice play. Good feed from Smith as well. And again, I'm just going to keep saying his name, Trey Diggs. What are you going to do? He kept him in the game. I mean, the game was pretty much over, but look at this. He went just absolutely off in the second half to keep this a respectable score. That's 3 straight highlights. None of these are repeats, and he had something to say about this. So overall, that's a good Bowling Green squad, right? They had some really good wings, really good guard in Turner there. He led the team, I think, and led the game with 24 points. Story of the game, though, for Michigan, the transfers, with both Mike Smith facilitating the offense and showed the ability to create his own points as well, but his ability to distribute, 8 assists, only 1 turnover. It's a really good sign for Michigan's offense overall. They're way ahead of where I thought they would be. I think number 2 would be center with Hunter Dickinson. He showed the ability to not only kick out pass that aligned with his top 50 recruiting profile of his passing ability from the block, but he can finish on his own, show the ability to put the ball on the deck, maneuver under the basket, create his own points there. That's a really good sign overall. And then finally, Chaundee Brown. I don't expect him to replicate this every single game, but just putting on film his ability to shoot from 3-point land, that's going to open up your offensive weapons in a way that Michigan really didn't have last year, right? You have an evolved Franz Wagner. You have Livers, who came back from potentially going to the NBA. You have those 2 guys. Then you add in a Chaundee Brown. Mike Smith can create a little bit more for himself and shoot from the outside more than Zavier Simpson did. And it's a really deep squad. It's a perfect kind of opponent you want out of Bowling Green, who's no cupcake by their own means, right? They're, again, projected to finish top of the MAC from the preseason rankings there, but, still showed that Michigan has some fire and it wasn't a cupcake opponent. So I'm really excited about this team. I think they showed a lot of promise about everything you can do. Defense could improve a little bit. Want to see a little bit more from Johns. Wanted them to cut down on penalties a little bit more in the future, but hard to not be encouraged by this team thus far and what Juwan Howard has formed here in a strange year. But beyond that, guys, that's all I got. Hope you guys have a happy Thanksgiving. Thank you all for getting this channel past 1,500 subscribers. We're approaching 2,000 quickly, so I appreciate all your support. It honestly means a lot. So I'm thankful for you guys on this Thanksgiving. Enjoy your turkey. Stay safe out there. And as always, go Blue.